Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDL 44 coming at you with another video. So, I'm just sitting here looking at various rosters and things of that nature, and I'm saying to myself, if I were to shop a superstar player like Anthony Davis or Ben Simmons or any of these guys, if I'm trying to make a move, the epiphany I just had was the Atlanta Hawks. They are the team with all the assets. They got all these players, but I look at their record and they're 500. And I'm like, they need to condense some of those players because the problem is they are too Trae Young heavy. Trae Young is a one man army. He don't need all these weapons and all this stuff. LeBron James needs all those type of weapons. Trae Young don't need that. He's not a facilitator. He's a scorer who facilitates. Sort of like Russell Westbrook in terms of facilitating. It's like passing is a weapon that opens up more scoring opportunities. He's a teardrop guy, 3-point guy, rhythm layup guy. He does all types of stuff that puts him in a position to just score with ease. And because he is how he is, it's like some of those other guys never get the ball in their hands. They never get that type of rhythm. And they got extreme, extraordinary amounts of talent on the back of their bench. Guys that are older who can help veteran teams. They got younger guys who can kind of help you start your rebuild. They got assets and picks and stuff because they haven't made trades. They got players with good contracts. They got players with crazy contracts to help match different things. They got it all, man. They have everything you need to make your deal happen. And whether they know it or not, if they want to make the most out of all that stuff, they need to condense it. They need to make it make sense because you can only play 5 players at a time. And they don't have the way that they play and the way that they're constructed, they don't have a path to let those players become who it is that they are on that roster. Yeah, it helps them right now during this COVID protocol because they can be able to navigate through it as players coming in and out of their lineup. It's easy for them to keep going. But nevertheless, look at their record and they're struggling. And it's like, okay, something is off. If they were to kind of condense some of that, trade some of those C guys and D guys, maybe a couple of those picks, they could turn that into a star that could help complement Trae Young, help complement what they have, to kind of put them in a position to be more competitive in the East than they are at this point. And it's like at the beginning of the season, you weren't necessarily saying that because you're like, okay, they have depth and they have balance, but it's like it's not translating for whatever reason. It's not translating, and so I think the Hawks should be considering condensing some of those assets, and not making the mistake of just hoarding everything and thinking that that's going to make them a champion. It's not. Superstars make championships happen, and what they have is enough assets to build anything, you know, like literally build anything. And while I think they have a good core group of players that really can contribute, um, some of those B and C guys are slightly too valuable. You know what I mean? Then they're going to be underutilized, and you can do more with your value. At the end of the day, you really can. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I think the Hawks should be listening to offers. I don't know if Cam Reddish. I know a lot of people are saying you got to shop Cam Reddish. I don't know why the heck you would. I'm picking somebody else. Between me and you, if I'm the Hawks, Cam Reddish ain't up for sale. That's not the one I'm letting go of. You know what I mean? And I think all this talk about them trading him, I think that's crazy. I'd pick somebody else. Who's the other guy that we can trade? Seriously, I don't know why. No, he's gonna be an all-star someday, and he's gonna do it in a Hawk uniform, in my opinion. I don't think they should trade him. But some of those other guys, yeah, you can make a move on a couple of moves, and like I said, use your picks for more win now talent because they don't really need picks, man. They don't. They don't need picks. They have a win now team. Trae Young, Collins, they've paid. Capella, they've paid. They're ready to win. So at this point, it's just about complementing those guys with pieces that are gonna make them outer worldly, and while respecting Trae Young's um, need to score the ball repeatedly. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're going full fledged Philly Iverson style where you only give him defenders and rebounders. I'm not saying that, but you do have to understand that when you have other players that need the ball and that need to be able to feel the rhythm of the ball and get a couple shots up repeatedly, That's not going to happen with Trae Young running the whole thing. That's not going to happen. It's all about him. He's more like a Dame Lillard type. It's just everybody else is going to have to find their way. And as to where if he were with Chris Paul or say a LaMelo Ball or somebody like that, Luka Doncic, those pieces are going to be utilized better, and it makes more sense, and the team would be playing better. But because he's not like that, it translates to y'all not winning as well. Plus, you're not going to be as good defensively with him just to begin with because you have to kind of hide him. So, as to where you have a bunch of heavy offensive players, what you really need is more Scotty Barnes type guys, more Anthony Davis type guys to kind of help mask his deficiencies defensively. Ben Simmons type players who can kind of help y'all on that end of the ball. So, yeah, that's what I think, man. Just looking at the Hawks, they can really improve. They can really afford to improve. Because I don't think they're good enough to make a move if they don't make a move to really win a championship right now. And with all those assets, they should be. Coming off the year they had, they should be. So I look at them sort of like Phoenix. I have high expectations for that team. And as I said, in my opinion, from top to bottom, they are the deepest team in the NBA. And if you look on Google, you check their roster, they have 26 players listed. So that'll tell you all you need to know. So, yeah, that's what I got to say, man. My name is BDF44. Thank y'all for watching.